I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas Edison. My friends, each and every day, do not worry about how many times you fail as you learn. Because when you get to the end and you've mastered the charts through success and failure, you'll make up for all the time you ever spent. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks are down for the day pretty decently. We see bonds are up a little bit. Gold is up a lot. And Bitcoin, like it's been lately, is down again. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. Sorry we couldn't provide you with the S&P 500 yesterday. Why? Well, we had a glitch in the chart and it was messy. They fixed it and now we can see where we are going. You can see the green up candles yesterday. That was on Monday. And then the red down candles today, down 0.85%. Look at this weekly chart where we are sitting right there on it with a little doji. We have decent volume so far this week. Look at the 2-day chart. This is just the first day of the latest second day of the latest 2-day candle. We closed it out with above average volume. And you can see where we had average volume on Monday, above average volume on Tuesday, dragging that 2-day candle up, not quite as high as the prior candle, but we can see for sure that the Thursday, Friday was also lots of volume, but lots of indecision. 2 dojis right there. And of course, the latest one turned red and is sitting right on the weekly trend line. So again, are we topping? Are we getting ready to roll over? Well, the rest of this week is going to play itself out and let us know. We can see where we're punching through at the end of the day, the weekly trend line. We did that before, but came right back up. Let's see where it takes us. Now, you thought that the S&P was down today decently. Well, the NASDAQ 100 down even more, 1.54%. And of course, again, a red doji sitting right there on the trend line, sitting right above it on the 2-day. Again, volume looks very much the same, a little higher, that prior Thursday, Friday candle. Again, high also on the Monday, Tuesday. We saw our things popped up in the afternoon and then down today in the morning and afternoon. That's popped up yesterday afternoon. And again, as we look at things, we can see the market teetering. Where is it going to go? Well, if it goes down, we'll be ready for that. If something steams it up and it drives even higher, we'll be ready for that too. I keep expecting things to roll over. Of course, we expected it there in November, in mid-November, the week beginning the 10th and then the 17th, where we had a red spinning top and then a down candle with all that volume. And then it just blanked out on us with not any volume, perked up, and then, of course, has slid sideways for the last many weeks, but slowly edging up. So again, waiting to see where they go. That is what we're waiting for a clear, clean signal. When we look at bonds, where are they? Well, my friends, I can't even draw you a trend line because there's nothing to draw you a trend line on, although this one has switched around on me. Let me blow this up. Remember, bottom up, top down. Things go down, you draw from the top, not from the bottom. But there's really, you can see there's nothing we can do here because our green candles block us for any down move and our red candles block us for any update on an up move. So what we do see, though, on this weekly chart is, again, things continuing to move down this week after a green spinning top last week. We can see 4 days of down movement on the 2-day candles. Didn't quite get up to average volume on this latest one, but you can see where things popped up to an interim high back on the 26th of January, both in the morning and then slowing down a little in the afternoon. And then on Tuesday, the 27th, all down movement, but for the afternoon of Thursday, the 29th of January. So we've moved back down below the weekly trend line on the half day. We're sitting right above it on the 2-day, right above it on the weekly. Well, again, sorry, I'm so used to using trend lines. When I find one I can't use, I guess it's better than nothing, okay? We'll just continue to watch, wait and see where this takes us. Technically, bonds were up for the day, 0.24%. But again, you can see the inherent weakness in bond prices. Average pace appears to be down, but I wouldn't bet on it. What do we see going on with gold? Well, gold rebounded today big time, 6.36%. And you might say, Tom, what's going on? Well, my friends, if you had read the paper that we put out to you yesterday and also published at our YouTube site, we stuck it everywhere we could. I'm sorry, not the YouTube, the X. I want to read you from the article that I wrote about the plan ahead. And here's what's so important for you to pay attention to. The episode does not, I'm reading directly from my article, The Path Ahead. The episode does not mark the end of the precious metals bull market. It marks a violent reset. Expect continued instability. Sharp rebounds and equally sharp pullbacks are likely as markets search for equilibrium. Long-term fundamentals, that is debt burdens, currency debasement risks, and in particular, industrial silver demand remain intact, but leverage and speculation will make future advances less smooth than many investors expect. I'm keying on the word advances because the end of the bull market on precious metals is not here. There's too many real factors. The reset, I explained to you how that occurred. I really urge you, if you've not read that article, please read it again, maybe a couple of times, because I go over the mainstream interpretation, a perfect storm, and macro stress and speculation. I also give you the trigger for the crash, and I give you the alternative and conspiratorial narratives, and then we provide a logical synthesis of them. And the end result is there's still a hell of a lot of bullishness left in precious metals, both silver and gold, and some others. So please do not be surprised if you see more ranging, if you see more volatility, but the bear market is not over. The fundamentals tell us it is not over. The market had to adjust, and I explain that in detail in the article. Please read it. Let me know what you think about it. I would love to hear from all of you and would love your critiques. Now, where we see with gold is, of course, moving up. It didn't pass through the weekly trend line yet, that it broke, of course, with this sharp down move starting on Friday through Monday. You can, of course, see the big down 2-day candle, and, of course, all of the ranging, the volatility, that was really from what? From Friday, where we saw things slip over with a hard down and then continue on into Monday. And then opening of this week with the spinning top below the weekly trend line. Now, we're not through the week yet. We shall see. But, of course, this huge wick that was mostly a green candle before that Friday drive down. So, again, pay attention. Be ready for more bullishness, but more volatility in gold. And lastly, Bitcoin. Where are we on Bitcoin? We are down again, 2.04%. Bitcoin is weak and pushing down. Look at all that volume already this week, and we still have days to go. So we have interesting times. One thing you can always count on in today's world is interesting things happening. Sometimes they come so fast it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. It's fun. I enjoy it. I look forward to it. It again allows you to pitch your skills against the market and all those others out there, and you get better by doing. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.